everyone and welcome to a new video of your Polyglot Academy. Today it's lesson 27 and we're going to talk about the adverbs of frequency, so let's start. Now, what are the adverbs of frequency? Well, an adverb of frequency mostly describes how often an action happens. So it's going to respond to the question how often something happens, or wie oft in German. Here you can see an example. Wie oft gehst du ins Fitnessstudio? Einmal pro Woche. How often do you go to the gym? Once a week. And here you can see the adverb of frequency einmal, which means once, which is basically answering the question of how often the person in this case is going to the gym. Wie oft gehst du ins Fitnessstudio? And by using this adverb of frequency, you're basically answering the question. Now, from this table, you're able to see the 5 most important adverbs of frequency in German with the respective translation in English. Nie, which means never, selten, which means rarely, manchmal, which means sometimes, oft, which means often, and immer, which means always. Here you can see an example. Ich gehe nie ins Stadion, obwohl ich eine Mitgliedschaft habe, which means I never go to the stadium, even though I have a membership. And in this case, you can see how we're using nie, which means never, in order to indicate how often I go to the stadium. In this case, it's also important to notice the position of the adverb of frequency. In German, you can see that it's always positioned after the verb. So if you would like to build a sentence and if you would like to indicate how often you do something, then please use the adverb of frequency after the verb in most cases. Here you can see another example. Manchmal bin ich zu müde, zum Training zu gehen, which means sometimes I'm too tired to go to training. In this case, you can see how we're using manchmal, which means sometimes, in order to indicate how often I'm going to training, or in this case, that sometimes I'm too tired to go to training. Now, it's very important to notice that, as in English, we can also put the adverbs of frequency directly at the beginning of the sentence, as we did in this case, and you can see how we are changing the position of the verb and of the subject. We already talked about the fact that if we have some kind of complement before the verb and the subject, then they're going to change the position, while the verb is always going to maintain the second position. So if we would have said, ich bin manchmal zu müde, zum Training zu gehen, then we would have had a normal sentence. But because we're placing manchmal right at the beginning of the sentence, ich and the bin are changing their position. So this is also very important to remember. Now, if you understood everything, this is a more complex list with more adverbs of frequency. They are also very important to know, so if you would like to write them down, I would also recommend that. And here you can see them. Einmal pro Woche, which means once a week. Zweimal pro Monat, which means twice a month. Dreimal pro Jahr, which means 3 times a year. Täglich, wöchentlich, jährlich, which mean daily, weekly, and yearly. Kaum, which means scarcely. Ab und zu, which means from time to time or once in a while. Häufig, which means frequently, and meistens, which means mostly and most of the time. And if you understood everything, then please do these exercises. Try to answer the 5 questions down below regarding your personal life using the adverbs of frequency. And if you're going to be able to answer these questions without any problem, then it means that you understood everything. If you would like to leave a comment, if you have any question, just do it, don't hesitate. And if you went so far, thanks for your attention. I wish you a nice day.